Hey guys, what's up everybody? I'm gonna give Facebook a little second to let people know that I'm live and direct up in your set. And I'm looking at my notes because I have a few notes that I want to share today. So, today I actually am working on something that I do every Saturday. And I'm working on my goals for the week and all this other stuff. But a few weeks ago, I ran a survey for my Embrace Her Legacy, platform for my business. And I ran a survey amongst millennial women all over the world. And one of the questions I asked was, what holds you back from achieving your goals? And I believe about almost 50% of my audience told that one of the things that they struggle with the most is figuring out where to start. It's like, oh my gosh, Maria, I have these big dreams. Where do I start, right? So for those of you who are not familiar, I'm founder and CEO of Embrace Her Legacy, which empowers and inspires millennial women and girls to give birth to your dreams and achieve a legacy of faith, of purpose, and of success. And I do that through empowerment programs. My lead program is the Made to Succeed Academy / Embrace Your Legacy Academy, different personal development resources, and I am a speaker. So, and then different personal development classes that I teach. So, as I pulled that, I was like really shocked. And I was like, oh my gosh, people don't know where to start achieving their dreams. I thought it would be, I don't have enough time to work on my goals, because we work for everybody else, but then when it comes to ourselves, we have an excuse. If your job tells you to go to work an hour earlier, you do it. But when it comes to working on our own dreams, we find every excuse in the world. So I'm thinking it's time, but most women are saying that it's not time. It's really about finding how to start working on your goals, finding where to start. So I do something every Saturday that helps me work on my goals every day. But today I'm going to share with you 3 ways that you can create your success plan so you can start working on your goals and your dreams today. Not next week, not a month from now, not when the babies grow up, not when you get enough money, not when you get the job you really want. No. How to start working on your dreams today. So the first thing I want to share is you got to first know and you have to define what success means to you. That's rule number 1. It's like you wouldn't go on a road trip to nowhere, right? You wouldn't just get in your car and say, okay, I'm going to go on a road trip, but I have nowhere to go. I don't have a destination. What success means to you, and clearly defining success to you, is your destination. It's your target point. Once you know where you want to go, you can create the roadmap. You can you can look for the directions to get there. So the first step in learning how to create your success plan, as well as start to working towards your goals today, like I said, not tomorrow, not next week. It's my vision board back there, one of the several ones I have, is to first define what success means to you and get clear crisp on it. This is the problem that we do. I want to be happy. As long as my family's okay, as long as my kids are happy, then I'm happy. That's great, but those are wishes. That's not clear. That's not concise, right? You want to be clear on what success means to you. Be happy, be healthy, be whole, have a better relationship with God. Those are not clear, and that's where we mess up, and that's where most people are. Most people have that success. Everybody wants to be successful. I want them to have money, blah, blah, blah. You have to clearly define what that means to you. So what I do, I recommend my students and any of my clients, what I ask you to do is to do one of 2 things to find out what that means to you. 1, take about 15 to 20 minutes and do something I call on-purpose thinking, where you ask yourself, what does my perfect life look like? If everything were perfect, I call it my mama I made it moment. I was just looking at Kevin Hart's Instagram, and he has a picture of him getting his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and he hashtags Mama I Made It. So that is a moment where he feels like that defines his success for him. You have to find out for yourself, what is the defining moment? What does success mean to you? To you, it may be, you finally got Maybe you finally got your own show. Maybe you're like Iyanla Vanzant on Oprah. You're on your own network. Maybe you, I don't know, maybe you won the World Series. Maybe you got an Oscar. Maybe you got into a movie. Maybe, you know, you've amassed $5 million in savings. I don't know. You have to find out what success means to you and take the limits off of your head. It doesn't matter where you come from. So many limitations that we put on ourselves because we're conditioned, especially those from in our cultures, we're conditioned to see this is success. We're not really. One thing my students always tell me is that they appreciate the fact that I introduced him to so many other definitions of what success may be. So you have to find out, one is, what does success mean to me? What does that mean? And get clear on it and write it down. The big mistake we do is we do not write it down. I have a list of 21, I would say, goals that I read out loud daily that define the things that I want to get accomplished in life. So you can start off by just asking yourself, take 10 to 15 minutes, 20 minutes to do some on-purpose thinking. Take the limits off of your legacy, off of your mind, and ask yourself, what does success mean to me, and get clear on it. So another way to kind of like work on that and hone in on that and get a clearer picture of what that is to do something what I've learned from Brian Tracy is create your 5-year fantasy plan. I heard this wonderful quote that goes, you can overestimate what you can get done in 1 year and underestimate what can happen in 5 years. So if in 5 years from now, it's, what's today, October 15th, 2021, right? 5 years from now, if every area in your life were perfect, what would that look like? So the areas would be business and career, finances, family life, even community and giving back, and then your spiritual, your mind, your soul. You know, if everything were look perfect in the next 5 years in each and every one of those categories, what would it be? Okay, so now you can kind of say, all right, this is what success means to me. Again, do not put the limits on. If you cannot think it in your mind, you cannot have it in your hand. I heard my pastor say something really, really amazing. Hey, boo, I saw my pastor, I saw you log in. I saw my pastor say something really amazing. He said, if I can think it in my mind, if I can imagine it, God can do more. I'm not telling you this like, oh my gosh, personal development, blah, blah, blah. No, I believe there's a God who can do exceedingly and abundantly more than you can dare ask or imagine. So that means if you ask or if you imagine, he can do 220 times more. So that's the first thing you have. So that's a way to start to say, all right, what's my 5 years fantasy plan? And write it down. Say, all right, in 5 years, if I had the money I want, the career I want, or the business, or the lifestyle I want, what would that look like for me? And those are good questions, good areas to just start clarifying what you want in your overall success. Like, okay, at my pinnacle, how much money do I want to have? At the pinnacle of my life, at the mama I made it moment, how much money do I want to have? How much investments do I want to have? You know, do I want to be debt free? I hope so, 'cause ain't nobody got time to be in debt. That is part of the curse. But do I want to be debt free? You know, do I want to own homes? How will my home life look? Do I want to have children? How many? You know, do I want to travel? And if you want to travel, you have to consider, right, if I want to travel, what type of lifestyle or work or career is going to allow me to do that? These are questions that we need to ask. So think about your income, think about your finances, think about your business and career, think about your lifestyle, think about your family, think about your spiritual well-being. Girl, if you as close as you got to God as you want to be. So if in 5 years you want to get closer to God, what does that look like for you? I can tell you right now, praying helps, you know, creating a routine, spending time with him. That's a whole another video post, and I'll probably do that next week about how to get closer to God, how to hear from God, how to really grow in your spiritual growth, your spiritual walk with him. But the way you do that is putting him first. And I give you a scripture, Matthew 6:33, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added unto you. So that's just for anybody who has that goal. Okay, so that's the first step, is really getting clear on defining what success means to you. Next step, number 2, I'm looking at my notes. 2, you have to now set your top 10 goals for the next 12 to 16 months. Okay, let's not wait until January 1st. I know a lot of you are going to be like, oh, 2017 is my year. 2016 isn't over, baby. Let's get that clear. 2016 is not over, and I'm believing that the rest of this year is the best of the year, especially those of us who've had some things and some, we've been going through some things happened to us. Satan came and knocked on our door and tried to knock us out, but we knocked him out by, getting on our knees and praying and let him know I'm a child of God. You ain't gonna play me like that. Those of us who have had those type of things, I really believe that the rest of this year is the best of this year. So let's take time to set your top 10 goals for the next 12 to 16 months. When you look at what success means to you, what are you going to do in the next 12, 16 months to help you get there? And the way you write your goals is make sure that they're SMART, meaning that they're specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time specific. So pretty much what I mean by measurable is by specific is I know what I'm shooting for. I cannot say, okay, I want to be healthy. What does that look like? And that's not measurable, which is M. Measurable, instead of saying I want to be healthy, you can say something like, I want to weigh my ideal, I weigh my ideal weight of, 130 pounds by March 5th, 2017. Okay? Measurable is attainable. And what I mean by attainable is that you are in control of the outcome. You want to make sure that it's realistic by me being attainable, and relevant, meaning it's important to you. I do this a lot with my younger girls, because sometimes we set in goals that are for other people. Make sure it's something that you want to do, okay? And then T for time specific. So you want to make sure that it has a deadline. So you set those top 10 goals for the next 12 to 16 months. You're looking at your success plan, what you define success is to you, and you say, all right, cool, what am I going to do within the next 12 to 16 months? I'm going to make these goals SMART, right? And I'm going to start each goal with the word I. Don't just write down your goals and say, lose weight by December, or, make more money, get a new job by July. No, you want to take possession. When you possess and when you say I, and then not only do you want to start with I, you want to actually make sure you write your goals in present tense, like you already achieved them, because this makes your subconscious mind go to work for you. It's like you already have it. And this is goal setting on steroids, okay? So this is how you do it. So instead of saying something like lose weight, what you're going to do is you're going to say something like, I weigh my ideal weight of 130 pounds. I earn, an income of, $70,000 a year by January, by December 1st, 2017. That is a lot different than I want to make more money. I'm going to make more money in 2017. I'm going to make more money by the end of the year, okay? You have to define what more money is to you. Again, getting specific. How much money do you want to make? What do you want to weigh? Where do you want to live, okay? So that's what I mean by taking the goals now, taking the success plan, taking the wonderful 5-year fantasy and now going into step 2 and breaking them down into realistic goals that you can achieve within the next 12 to 16 years. So if in your 5-year fantasy plan, maybe you want to be a social worker. Maybe you have a thing for social work. Well, and you want to go back to school. Well, obviously, in order to do social work, you have to have a master's in social work, I believe. Don't quote me on this. So one of your goals for the next 12 to 16 months will be, I am enrolled in, New York, NYU, in the master social work plan by September 1st, 2017. This is like, okay, if I want to be a social worker, I know I got to go get my master's. I'm going to do that within the next 12 to 16 months, sorry. Okay? So the next step is, I have to make sure I'm on point. The final step that I do in order so you to get working on your goals today, not next week, is every either Saturday or Sunday. I do something goal setting Sundays where I sit down with myself and I look at my top goals for the next 12 to 16 months. And I say to myself, Maria, what action steps are you going to take this week to get you closer to your goals? So let's use that example of the master's program. You want to go back to school and get your master's degree in social work. Well, something that you can do this week is you can start researching maybe 5 to 10 schools that you might be interested in. And then you can say, okay, this school may cost me this much. I like this about this school, yada, yada, yada. And now you're making your goals. You're working backwards. So it's like, okay, now I know that this week I'm going to start researching schools. Or let's say if one of your top, maybe one of your 5-year fantasy goals or your overall success plan is to be a successful entrepreneur. And maybe within the next 12 to 16 months, you want to have a startup. Maybe you want to have a startup cookie business. I don't know. Whatever your idea is, well, maybe an action step that you can take this week is to start working on your business plan, or to buy your domain name. Something simple like buying a domain name. And if for those of you who are not familiar with the domain name, is just the name of your website. So maybe this week you go on GoDaddy.com, buy the name of your website, and start researching what it's going to take to incorporate your business with the Department of State. And then say, okay, it's going to cost me $210. I got the name, I got the website. Let me make a goal to incorporate my business before the end of the year. Okay, so this is how we work backwards, and now we start working on our goals today. So you look at your top 10 to 12 to 16 goals, and you say to yourself, what am I going to do this week? And do it and write it down. I write everything down. So I'm going to show you guys. This is actually my Slaying My Goals journal that I had on sale that I'm actually sold out. Actually, I have one more. So if you're interested in buying one, just email me, comment with your email, and then I will send one to you. But write your goals down. Write all this stuff down, guys. Like, I'm tired of seeing us in the same cycles of behavior and wonder why year by year nothing has changed. If you are in the same place you were a year ago, if you are not any way closer to your goals or to your ideal life, you have no one else to blame but yourself. And I'm giving you free words of wisdom now. So this is a great way for you to start saying, okay, how can I get started on my goals today? So what I do is, like I said, I set my action steps for the week, and I do this every week. I have been doing this for a very long time, for years now, and this is how I've been able to accomplish so many of my goals. It's really by being consistent, looking at them goals and saying, all right, what am I going to do this week? And I even set goals for the month. And what happens is, now that I'm setting my action steps for this week, when I wake up on Monday morning, I already wrote my task list for Monday morning. I'm going to look at my action steps for the week and say, okay, I know Monday's coming, right? So I'm not going to wake up Monday and be like, how do I feel? What do I need to get done? No, I wrote down, I'm going to get done this, that. Make calls, this, that. Do this, that. And then I'm one step closer to realizing my top 10 goals, which are also helping me realize my overall dreams. Okay, so you get me, you feel me, you write down those action steps. And the action steps don't have to be in that format of SMART. Sometimes an action step can be simple as, like, you want to get out of debt? So call creditors and be like, okay, let me find out how much I owe. Let me get on a payment plan. Let me stop blocking their numbers. Well, these are the things that you want to start doing week by week. Okay, so recap of how to create your success plan and really how to start working on your dreams today. It's really my plan to work backwards. Is 1, define what success means to you. And I said, get quiet, take 20 minutes and do some on purpose thinking. Take the limits off, please. If you cannot think it in your mind, you cannot have it in your hand. Sit on that promise. God is able to do exceedingly and abundantly more than I can ask or imagine. Think about it. Ask yourself what you want with no limits. And if you need a little bit of help, do your 5-year fantasy plan. Think about those areas in your life, your business, your career, your income, your family, your lifestyle, your spirituality, your health, your fitness, community, and philanthropy. If everything were perfect in those areas, how would that look like to you? What would that mean to you? And write that down. Once you've written that down, you now set your top 10 goals for the next 12 to 16 months using the SMART format, and also making sure that you write each goal in the present tense, like you've already achieved it, and you start it with the word I. We want to take possession of our goals, right? Once you write those down too, right? We're going to do I do goal setting Sundays. Sundays are for the Lord. Jesus comes first in my life. So Sundays are for him, right? and for relaxing. But I do either Sunday or Saturday evening with myself. I sit down with myself and I have goal setting Sundays or Saturdays, and you write down the action steps that you're going to take this week towards those top 10 goals that you have, and you keep doing that every week, because you'll find out that you're going to learn as you go. So if you didn't know anything about incorporating a business and you start researching this week you're going to have new things to add onto your action steps next week. Maybe you're going to have to be like, okay, I need to get an articles of incorporation. I need to, I don't know, you don't need a tax ID to incorporate a business, not in New York State, but you'll get to know, all right, what are my next steps. And then you're working on your goals every day, because every day you got to take at least, find an hour. Find 30 minutes a day to work on you, because we go so hard for our jobs, and we don't go hard on ourselves. Jim Rohn has this amazing quote: if you go hard for your job, you work hard at your job, you'll make a living. If you work hard at yourself, you'll make a fortune. If your job asks you to come in for an hour earlier or stay an hour later, most of us wouldn't say anything. Most of us would be pissed, but you'll do it. So if you can go so hard for somebody else, why can't you go so hard for yourself? Wake up earlier. Go to sleep later. Instead of being on Facebook during your lunch break, start writing that book. Find time. There's 24 hours in a day. You just have to find time. And I have this amazing class where I teach that. It's called Creating Your Success Routine class. And if you're interested, you can download about really how to find time, buckets of time in your day, at embraceherlegacy.com/routine, and it's only $7. You can't beat a class like that for $7. So go there if you want to. Okay, so that was step 3, creating your action steps weekly towards your goals and then working at them daily. So if you like what you see, guys, and you want to know more, especially the ladies, I did this because I know we have attention spans like of goldfish. Here you go. embraceherlegacy.com/5-step plan. I hope you can see that. I hope it's not backwards and you can read it, right? Okay, but embraceherlegacy.com/5-step plan, that is my free guide to help you download, that you can download for free, and it'll create 5 steps. It's pretty much what I explained, but you have it, you can refer to it in detail. And then if you want to go in on your goals, I highly suggest that you take my Goal Setting Success Bootcamp class. It's a 4-part class. Each class is about an hour long. It's an audio lesson because you can listen to it as you go. I provide action steps for each class. It's really, really a magical class, because it's like goal setting on steroids. We go from what defining success is, defining success to you, what does success means to you, goal setting like intensive. Then we have vision boarding, about how to attach the right images to your goals, and then also personal development and things like that that are going to help you achieve your goals. So the top one is if you want to just grab a free guide of how to create powerful goals, how to set powerful goals in 5 easy steps. And then the second one is my Goal Setting Success Bootcamp, where it's really it'll help you create that success plan for you. Alright guys, so it's Saturday. I was just laughing hilarious watching Think Like a Man 2. I had never seen it before. Actually, this is my second time seeing it, and it was hilarious. So I'm going to go back to watching some TV and setting some goals and being the rock star that I know that I am. If you need any, and if you guys want to work one-on-one, I'm also available for goal setting sessions, which you can get at embraceherlegacy.com/session. Okay, so, and if you just want to go browse classes that I have, go to my classes category section on embraceherlegacy.com. All right, guys, have a happy Saturday. All right, bye.